What if I told you some of the strangest places on Earth shouldn't even exist? Not according to normal geology, not according to common sense. Scientists have spent decades trying to explain them. Some believe they've solved the mystery. Others admit the biggest questions are still unanswered. Number 1 looks impossible on its own, but the very last place on this list? It might be the one mystery scientists still haven't solved. Let's start at the beginning. In the plains of northeastern Wyoming, a single stone monolith rises 867 feet into the sky, nearly as tall as a 70-story building. At first glance, it looks man-made. It isn't. And that's not even the strangest part. Would you have guessed this was natural? For the Kiowa and Lakota people, it's Mato Tipila, Bear Lodge. Legend says a giant bear clawed at the rock, chasing children onto a stone that kept rising toward the sky. Geologists date the tower to around 50 million years ago, formed when magma pushed upward and cooled underground before erosion exposed it. That part isn't disputed. What still divides geologists is exactly how those columns turned out this uniform. And that's a pattern you're about to see again and again on this list. Because Devil's Tower isn't even the strangest column formation we found. On Navajo land in Arizona, sunlight drops through a crack in the desert floor and turns solid rock into something that looks liquid. In places, it narrows to less than 3 feet wide, carved not slowly, but violently by flash floods. A single flood can reshape it in minutes. The canyon you're looking at right now may already look different by next year. In central Turkey, an entire region is covered in stone cones, some crowned with darker capstones shaped like mushrooms frozen mid-growth. This is Cappadocia, and the strangest part isn't above the ground. Scientists thought they understood this landscape completely, until 1963, when a man knocking down a wall in his basement broke into a tunnel leading to an entire hidden city. Derinkuyu could shelter thousands of people underground. Historians trace the earliest tunnels back nearly 3,000 years, but no one has ever confirmed who dug the very first one. On the coast of Northern Ireland, roughly 40,000 stone columns descend into the Atlantic, most of them 6-sided, with a precision that looks manufactured. Would you believe no one built this either? Legend says the giant Finn McCool built it to reach a rival in Scotland, where matching columns exist across the water at Fingal's Cave. The geology checks out. The coincidence never has. Stone spheres, scattered across a New Zealand beach, almost perfectly round. Geologists can explain how they formed. They still can't fully explain why so many came out this round. From above, this looks less like a mountain range and more like a mistake in the landscape. Thousands of narrow sandstone pillars rise straight out of the forest in Hunan Province, China, some over 650 feet tall. You'd probably assume something built these on purpose. Nature did, over roughly 3 million years, as water, ice, and plant roots widened cracks in ancient sandstone until only the strongest columns survived. This is the landscape that inspired the floating mountains in Avatar. Stand on the glass walkway above it, and the forest disappears into a green haze with no visible floor. Here's the part nobody expected. Some of these pillars are barely wide enough to support their own weight, and they're still standing. To the Navajo, this jagged black spike in the New Mexico desert is Tse Bitai, rock with wings, said to have carried their ancestors across great distances. It's actually the eroded core of an extinct volcano, merely as tall as the Empire State Building. And the ridges radiating from its base run in nearly straight lines, as if something had planned the layout. Where Venezuela, Brazil, and Guyana meet, a mountain rises, with cliffs so sheer it looks unfinished, its flat summit permanently wrapped in cloud. For the Pemon people, Roraima is the stump of a mythical tree that once held every fruit in the world. It later inspired Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. Its summit has been isolated from the jungle below for so long that entire species evolved there and nowhere else on Earth. Nobody has finished cataloging them. In western Madagascar, an entire forest has turned into blades. Tsingy de Bemaraha is a maze of limestone needles, so sharp its name literally means where one cannot walk barefoot. Local lemurs learned to cross the entire landscape without ever touching the ground, using the forest canopy above the blades instead. Researchers are still studying how they survive here. And then there's the last place on this list. If every Great Lake in North America disappeared tomorrow, Superior, Michigan, Huron, Erie, and Ontario combined, Lake Baikal alone would still hold more fresh water. Formed 25 million years ago along a continental rift in southern Siberia, Baikal is both the oldest and deepest lake on Earth, deep enough to submerge the Eiffel Tower 5 times over. Try to picture that. 5 Eiffel Towers stacked, and you'd still be looking up at the surface. It's also home to the Baikal seal, one of the only freshwater seal species on the planet, found nowhere else, separated from any ocean by more than 1,000 miles. Scientists have theories about how its ancestors got there. To this day, none of them are fully proven. Of everything on this list, this might be the one mystery science hasn't caught up to yet. 10 landscapes, 6 continents. Every one of them has a scientific explanation. Erosion, volcanism, millions of years of pressure and time. But here's the pattern that keeps repeating. Every answer creates another question. Every explanation leaves one detail that doesn't quite fit. Maybe these places aren't breaking the rules of nature. Maybe we just don't understand nature as well as we think we do. Which one would you visit first? Tell me in the comments, and subscribe for the next journey to the edge of what science can explain.